Mainstream entertainment. Ruslan.
All right, so as things are heating up, people are in their feelings. The election is slowly starting to unwind, though I think we're going to be in the course for a while. It appears that Gary Vee came out and was very, very transparent with who he voted for, and I applaud him for this. I think this is really interesting. As you guys know, I didn't vote for either candidate. I identify as politically agnostic. I've met Gary Vee. We follow each other on social media. I'm friends with D-Rock, who works over there. And I thought this was really interesting for an influencer to come out and to speak on who he voted for. So I'm going to pull this up real quick. This is interesting. He says, Gary Vee is way too smart to say who he voted for. And he replies, I voted for Biden. Then he says, I guess Gary wants to pay more taxes. I thought he was all about entrepreneurship and capitalism. I guess he is too big now. Politics aside, can you agree Biden is not mentally fit to run a country? Go and look at all the speeches he recently gave. All gibberish. Too big, not even close. I just don't have taxes and business as my deciding issues. I just don't have taxes and business as my deciding issues. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Biden. I think that's a great response where he says, listen, my primary issues for the way I voted is not strictly taxes and is not for what affects my bottom line. And then he goes on, and in the post, he says, I love being a businessman and work very hard, but taxes isn't my biggest priority. And wasn't when I made a little or a lot. It just wasn't. I'm looking for a day of more balance. Things have gotten extreme and a little to the center and balance, and a deep breath is something I hope everyone can continue to aspire for. I hope, I love all of you. And then he talked about how he went back and forth with this guy on social media, which is really interesting that Gary Vee would go back and forth with folks. But I think that's a great response. You know, the notion that someone has to vote or you're an entrepreneur, so you have to vote Republican, or you're a Christian, so you have to vote Republican. And Gary Vee is basically saying, listen, I actually didn't vote in my best interest. I voted in what I thought the best interest was for the people. We can disagree on what's best for people, but we shouldn't disagree that what's best for people is best. And that's a very mature position with someone who has a lot of power, someone that has a lot of influence, and someone that has a company with 1,000 employees and hundreds of millions in revenue, and he's transparent that he voted for Biden. I thought that was very commendable, even though I didn't vote for Biden, and that was not my choice. And I'm not mad at anybody who did, but I thought that was very, very, very commendable. And I think it's just interesting how so many of us do try to push people into corners based on whatever biases we think they have. You know what I mean? I think that's really whack. And so I wish more pastors did respond this way. I think you're right. I wish more pastors responded this way in terms of like, my bottom line isn't, what's best for me isn't the reason why I necessarily vote, right? And again, I think we had two very flawed candidates. I don't like either one of them. I don't like the policies either one of them was pushing through. But kudos to Gary Vee for standing by and speaking up and being transparent and saying, this is what it is, and this is how I voted, and this was my logic for it, and I don't care if I got to pay more taxes. By the way, someone like him is going to get. He lives in New York City. He's going to get impacted by these taxes. 62% of his take-home income. That's a lot of money. So I don't know, man. And he sincerely believes that this is what's best for the country. I think that's commendable, even if I don't agree with the minutia and all the details. You know what I mean? But what do y'all think about this, man?
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.